Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I'm very excited to be able to dive into Exoborne. This game just got announced at the Game Awards, and in addition to breaking down the reveal trailer, I also have some very exciting and exclusive extra details to share with you. So by the end of the video, if you are interested in this game and you want to know more, then be sure to check out the link either down in the description or the pinned comment. I would greatly appreciate it. But to start off, I just want to give some very quick context for my Division audience. I've had my eyes on this project for a while. The development studio behind Exoborne, Sharkmob, was founded in 2017 by some of the core members behind the original Division game. This includes the likes of the former game director, IP director, technical director, brand director, and more. Now ever since then, and their founding of Sharkmob, those individuals have been working on a top secret project. And so because of my passion for the Division, once I learned of this, I immediately wanted to know more about the game, and now the reveal for Exoborne is finally here. So like I said, we're going to analyze and break down the game's trailer, and I'm very excited to be able to share some additional exclusive details from a meeting that myself and some other creators had the pleasure of having with Petter Mannerfelt, the former game director on the Division and now the creative director at Sharkmob on Exoborne. So I have to give a big thank you to Sharkmob and Level Infinite for the opportunity and collaboration on this video, and let us dive in. I'm going to play the trailer in the background while I go through some first basic details and setup about the game. Exoborne is a tactical open-world extraction shooter. It's going to be coming to PC and consoles utilizing Unreal Engine 5, and the game currently has over 400 people working on it at Sharkmob. Exoborne is going to be set in Colton County in the southeastern region of the United States, and it features a setting that is actively falling apart. Apocalyptic level storms are ravaging the area, they have transformed the landscape, and that feeds directly into your gameplay. More on that later. You play as Reborn, some of the last people willing and able to go out and scavenge the world. Some Reborn still fight for good, and some don't. Exoborne is a PvP-focused extraction shooter. Every time you go out into the world, you're not only contending with AI enemies and Mother Nature, but players can attack you at every turn. To combat those threats, you're equipped with an exo rig. These exo rigs will vary in playstyle and archetype, not just focusing on damage, tanking, etc., but incorporating utility into your loadout as well. These rigs will also enable great verticality, a specialty that Sharkmob is known for, like in their Blood Hunt title. Exoborne is going to be no different. So, once you're suited up, you head out into the world of Colton County. You can play solo or in up to a group of 3, tackling co-op missions, public events, and multiplayer, but PvP will always be enabled. One of my favorite quotes from the chat that we had with Petter is when he said that they believe that if there's no risk, then there should be no reward, and I like the sound of that a lot. That said, they still want Exoborne to be accessible. They see it as being an easy to learn, hard to master kind of experience. Being an extraction shooter, if you die, you will lose all of the gear that you have on you, but successful runs will yield great rewards, and progression comes in the form of building up your arsenal, unlocking and crafting weapons and mods and other paths you can find by interacting with friendly NPCs. Those are most of the general points that describe what Exoborne is as a game. Now I kind of want to narrow down on some elements that we see in the trailer and expand on it with some of the information we were given. The trailer starts off with this screen saying Rebirth, and then you see the main character get flown back into it, and it is a screen upon this tower. These Rebirth Towers, as they're called, play a very important part in Exoborne. Not only are they going to be very distinctive geographic landmarks within the maps that you play on, but they also serve a very significant role in the game's lore. Which, yes, despite Exoborne being a PvP extraction shooter, it does still have a very rich and drawn-out world, and that's going to be communicated to you and explored across your playtime. We then see this fight begin between these two Reborn, and I think this is a great demonstration of the kind of variety that you find within the Exo Rig capabilities, as you see these two utilizing a bunch of different abilities. Our main character here uses an energy shield, obviously that is a bit more of a defensive tool, and then later on you see him stabilize himself within the storm using a grappling hook. And as I said, elements like these are really what is going to define your Exo Rig and playstyle, because the game ultimately asks you the question, how do you combine, classic marksmanship with your weapons with these interactive elements within the world to become the most lethal combatant you can be. You also see the opposing Reborn use this force punch ability twice against our guy. That's obviously more of an offensive tool. The point is, there are many options when it comes to Exo Rigs, and that also plays a big role into the verticality core pillar that the game has. All of the Exo Rigs unlock higher jumps and other feats if you choose to spec into that, and this fight between the two Reborn also segues directly into our next segment, the weather. Not only do these elements like tornadoes and lightning strikes define the landscape you're fighting on, but they directly impact your gameplay and how you traverse across the world. If you're fighting another squad and a tornado rolls through, that opens up so many more new opportunities. clouding your visibility, disrupting your gunfire, and the entire weather system also introduces an element of complete unpredictability, right? With how in the trailer the fight between these two Reborn is finally ended because that school bus comes flying out of the sky and it crushes the one with the helmet. Stuff like that, lightning strikes, it's all things you're going to have to look out for. These natural elements also play a big part into the traversal of the map, in that tornadoes can be utilized in combination with your parachute to traverse huge distances that otherwise would have taken you much longer to run across. And I think this comes across really well in the trailer when you see the Reborn purposely shoot the glass out from behind him to escape the fight and attempt to fly away. These weather elements are unpredictable, they're deadly, but you can learn to use them to your advantage, whether it's to win a fight, to escape, whatever. Some of the things that were pitched and shown to us in relation to this weather system honestly just sound so cool to me, so I can't wait to see and talk about it more. Further on in the trailer, once you see our character land safely on the ground, loot in hand, you see this helicopter flying over. Now yes, Exoborne is an extraction shooter and that's going to play a big role into that, but this is also a good point to mention that Exoborne will feature vehicles. I can't say too much more on that at this time and there's not a ton of information, but you're going to have plenty of options to get around the world. And to end off, you then see the horizon expand, you can see a much greater portion of this map, and I'm happy to confirm that the game will feature multiple maps. These are large in size, they feature vast and varied biomes, and I think across these maps, the environment of Colton County under these conditions should make them a super fun battleground. Now I'm sure even after all of this information, the biggest question that people are going to have is, where's some gameplay? As of right now, there is none to be seen. But I can say that Exoborne is going to be a third-person title, just like the studio's history with Bloodhunt and the founding team members' history on The Division. And all in all, I just think the culmination of all of these elements that the game is talking about seem extremely promising. The game's main tagline is Master the Apocalypse, and I think that's a pretty perfect way to encapsulate what's on display. Your Exo rig lets you customize your playstyle for how you want to interact with the world. They all enable a level of verticality that surpasses the small town infrastructure of Colton County, but ultimately none of that is above the weather patterns that you're going to encounter, and the impact that those have not only on the world, but also your gameplay. So it's up to you to master the tools that you're given, and try to become the best fighter out there. My friends, that is a trailer breakdown overview and a deep dive into some exclusive details on Exoborne. I think this game looks really promising. I like the direction they're taking with many elements here. As of right now, the game has no set release date, but if you want more info and you want to stay in the loop, then like I mentioned at the start, I would very much appreciate you checking out that link down in the description and pinned comment. With that, however, I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts. What is your reaction to Exoborne's reveal trailer? What do you think about some of the gameplay elements that I went over? And do you think this is a game that you're going to be into? Whatever you're thinking, leave it all down below and I can't wait to read through it. And that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Out.